Tomer Levi, Yishkoyach, where's that present you gave me? Oh, thank you. He left me two of these by the door. In danger. Okay, Avi Factor is driving to work. Let's just see real quickly who's on, if I could see. Mark Cantor. Somebody just took my screen back. Oh, that's you guys. It's Ispiro, Avi, Givaldik. Okay.
I advertised your share.
Shkoyach, Nachman Seltzer. That's what I need. I need Nachman Seltzer for today's email. Check this out. Okay, today's share. Yesterday I was an emotional wreck only from just reading the emails. It wasn't a personal thing. One email came in, please, we would like to sponsor the share. All of a sudden another email comes in. The guy was nifter literally a few minutes before, and his friend wants to sponsor. I couldn't deal with it. 9 years saw him, 39 years old. Today is a little lighter, I hope. Today's share is sponsored in memory of Al Kaufler, Avram Yosef ben Chaim Zechron Levracha ben Yehuda by Yehuda Kaplan, an avid listener of the full Daf, Los Angeles, California. We're going to use the new Tomer Levi board. Let's see. Is it? Okay. It even comes with these. Went all the way out to IKEA, which is not open now. All right, Rabbi Isai, here we go. This one is for my good friend. When we were learning the first mission of Mehmed Likin, I said a story, a joke, and this is the text I got right after shir. Great shir today. Terrible joke. Can't believe you spent time on it. Very good friend. I love his criticism. I take it to heart, and I actually try to better myself based on his criticism. But that's one side of it, and here's the other side. From Eliezer, that Chalev Nochem story is fantastico. Makes the Stefansky's Meisim top 10. I disagree, by far. It was so good I listened to that story several times so I can memorize it. And listen to this thing again. Great cheer today. Terrible joke. Can't believe you spent time on it. Nachamal. It was so good I listened to that story several times so I can memorize it. You never know. You can't win. You always say you don't have a good memory. That too is from your better pichusa lines, or maybe dichusa, I don't know what he meant over here exactly. Thank you for your continued generosity of your time and effort to bring us all your great everything. Hashem should bless you with Moshe Tzlacha with all Eliezer. Huh? Now that's one thing. Here's another email. Ari from Washington Heights. I've been watching the full daf on YouTube. Recently I wanted to have speed since the shir is now 5 to 7 minutes longer. Every day, beginning with brachas. He's been watching every day since beginning brachas, daf beis. Been really enjoying learning with you and the chevra ever since. As a modernish guy, he's a modernish guy. I don't know what that means. By me, everybody's the same. Modernish guy. I initially wasn't 100% sure if we would jive on a hashkafic level. What really convinced me, here Nachman, listen to this one, this is for you. What really convinced me that you are first and foremost a mensch was your considerate and thoughtful response to the two women who asked if they could watch the shir. So there's a debate whether I should even read that email or not. And he, because I was considerate and thoughtful, that's why he watches our shir today. He decided maybe I'm also a modernish guy. I'm with his hashkafa. I don't know exactly what he means. Lastly, as a whiskey enthusiast, I've begun noticing your gradually expanding collection. I see a number of my favorites in your collection, including Hibiki, Macallan, Belvini. I was also glad to see that the bottle of Jameson, which is a really cheap one, was for the yeshiva guys on Purim. Nothing too personal against the Irish is no longer invisible. I guess my son might have polished that one off in quarantine. Anyways, just there's a lot of rate about this liquor, so I got to explain to you a little bit what's going on here. Let's open this up. First of all, this bottle right here was given to me by the shir, as you could see, for Mesechtes Chulin. We'll never drink this one. Next. This bottle right here was given to me by the shir for Mesechtes Zvachim. Never drink that again. Um, anyway, the rest of the bottles are for guests. I'm not a big whiskey guy. I do take a shot here and there, but it's whatever. It's for guests. And now that the guests aren't showing up anymore, the only guest I really have that drinks is my son-in-law. So whatever. You'll see it going down gradually. So that's the story. Don't get too excited. I'm not a big enthusiast. Whatever. I do drink wine on Shabbos. We have nice wine, and that's not for me, of course. That's for my wife. Looking forward to continuing this incredible journey with you. Wishing the entire shir a chag kosher v'sameach. Ari, the modernish guy from Washington Heights. And now we have David Brandis. Dear Reb Eli, I've been battling Corona since Friday, and sadly I've missed a couple of your shiurim. Unbelievable, guy is battling Corona and he's concerned about shiurim. It's been a hard weekend fighting and dealing with the loss of my good friend Yerachmiel in Chicago. So Yerachmiel, as I told you, I sold him a house in Chicago. I knew him very well. I was in his house many, many times. An unbelievable, sweet guy about tshuva, great guy. And what I didn't know was that his wife is battling cancer and Corona. There's actually a fund. I have to get the information up, whoever wants to donate to the cause. It's an amazing cause. She has 4 young Yisayimim. He was a young guy in his 40s, I believe. They told him he doesn't have Corona. It was a negative test. They sent him back home, and he was nifter. So yeah, it's a terrible tragedy, and I guess David knew him. David lives in South Bend. I want to share with the Olam that they should please appreciate the privilege of breathing freely, and that each breath is a gift of a few seconds, a reset on a clock until the next one. It's unbelievable. Like if you hurt your thumb, suddenly you start appreciating what that thumb is and what it could do for you, and when you don't have it, how hard it is to lift things and catch things and pour things. And when you don't have that lung, like he's struggling, you get to appreciate every breath. Baruch Hashem, my symptoms are milder compared to others. I cannot stop thinking about how terrible the damage is for them. A special thanks to Yeshua, who reached out when he noticed I haven't been on, I guess Zoom or whatever, and I hope that the schus of our learning in Achdus brings a complete refuah for all of us. David Brandis, South Bend, Indiana, David Shloima Ben Sarah, and his wife is also now battling it. I forgot her name. And Yitzchak ben Esther Terah, and David ben Tzivya Perel is the father of what's his name, Dror, who just went to the hospital to visit him. Okay. By the way, on a uplifting note, we have a great friend of the Shir who came to visit us many times from California. He's a big surfer. We call him David the Surfer, David Agal. So he has 4 friends that he introduced to the Shir in California. I just want to say hello to them. Joel, Jacob, Howard, and Dr. John, all friends of David. Welcome, come visit one day. And with that, let's jump into the Shir. Says the Gemara, we are holding on Daf Chofei Amud Beis, 4 lines from the bottom. Yishkoyach to Rabbi Yeshua, who drove from his house, snuck into my house, and gave me a cup of water yesterday. It was amazing. Amazing act of chesed. I didn't ask for it, and he did it on his own. Yishkoyach. Tanya Rebbe Shimon ben Elazar Omer.
Eli, before you start, Harry wants to say something.
Oh, so yesterday we said, Hamakim Menachem Eschem to Harry, who lost his sister. She was in New York. She was only 47 years old. And the Olam went out of their way, and they called him and they emailed him. Harry, where are you, Harry? I don't see him on the... He wants to say something. Okay, where is he? Let's see if I could find him. Go ahead, Harry.
Hi, thank you, everybody. Thank you to everyone.
We hear you, Harry. Go ahead.
That's it, thank you.
That's it. Okay. You're very welcome, Harry. We have here 105 people online, and we're all with you in California. You see the camaraderie. There were people from Manchester that called. Someone from South Africa called him to be Menachem Avil. A camaraderie. We have a tremendous mishpacha here. Let's keep it up, Rabbi Yisai. Tanya Reb Shimon ben Elazar Omer. Ein madlikin b'tzari. Tzari is balsam oil. My taima, it has such an unbelievable good smell. Gzeira shemiyistapik mimenu. We're concerned that a person might go ahead on Shabbos, remove some of the beautiful oil that he has for some other place. And what's the problem with that? The problem is it's mechaba. Just like you're not allowed to add oil, that's havara. So you're not allowed to take off oil. You take off oil, you're extinguishing the flame earlier than it was supposed to be extinguished. Mechaba. Omer le'abayo. Leima mar, we're holding in Daf Chavav Amidalef, we were supposed to. Leima mar v'neshu off. There's another bigger problem maybe. The problem is that it'll burn your house down. The stuff is extremely flammable and it flies all over the place. It'll stick itself to the wall and start burning down. Says the Gemara, you're right. The main concern here is that it'll kill you. There's another problem of maybe he'll come to use it. Says the Gemara, and this is one of the craziest stories in all of Shas, and it's the cause for all crazy mother-in-law jokes. There was a mother-in-law, a terrible mother-in-law. Dahavas seniyalo lichalasa. She hated her daughter-in-law. Amrullah zil ikasha b'mishcha da'afarsama. I have a great idea for you. Why don't you spray some beautiful balsam oil on you? Okay, she listened to her. Azla ikashet. She tried it out. Ki asa Amrullah. So when she came to her, zil itli shraga. Do me a favor. You see that candle over there? Could you please light it? Now we just learned that the stuff is extremely flammable. That's why the Gemara brings the story. Azla asla shraga. She lit the candle. Impach bonura v'achalta. She was destroyed. She was consumed by the flame. Terrible, terrible story. The Gemara is telling us that it's extremely flammable and it could kill people. Who's chayiv over there? I mean, she lit the candle herself. She caused her. She tricked her into doing it. I don't know. Over here, you can insert any one of your mother-in-law jokes as you please. Says the Gemara, "Medalois haaretz hisher nevuzardon rav tabachim lekarmim uliyoyim." Nevuzardon sent Klal Yisrael out of Eretz Yisrael, but for his own selfish reasons, he left behind the karmim and the yoyvim. Who are these people? Karmim, Tani Rav Yosef, Elu melakti afar samoin, mein gedi v'ad ramasa. These are people that knew how to gather afar samoin, the balsam oil, the balsam, whatever, I don't know, Nachman, I don't know how you say it. Mein gedi v'ad ramasa. I guess it was a talent to find it, to know how to get it. What's the stuff here? I even have a picture.
Eli,
Yes.
they're telling people to be careful with not too much hand sanitizer and then turning on the stove.
So I wanted to actually, thanks for pointing that out. That's a scam. It's not true. I looked it up. It never happened. Nobody's ever got burned by the hand sanitizer. Look it up. You'll see. It's a discussion. It's similar. Correct. You put this flammable stuff on you and you go next to a fire, you could blow up. They're saying some guy made a hoax and said because you put the sanitizer there, he probably wanted to slow down the Mishnah. Look it up on Google. Says the Gemara, who are the Yoigvim? Elu tzayadai chilazain. These are the people that trap the chilazain. We had the guy that came from the Mishkan techeiles. Here, this is what's one of them looks like. It's the you see it's in a bag, but this is the snail. This is what it looks like. In fact, the proponents for techeiles, the blue stuff, one of their big rayas is this Gemara, that it says that you trap the chilazain, and this is the techeiles that he left with me. You trap it from Sulamais Shaltsur, which is Tyre in Lebanon, Va'ad Haifa, till Haifa. In fact, today, that's exactly where these snails live. And from Lebanon all the way down to Haifa, they found many factories of, in one instance, they found a place the size of a football field full of these shells from, 1,000 years ago. So anyways, that's one of their big rayas, that we're dealing with the same chilaza. You just have to go down. It says it comes up every 70 years, but you have to go. Only scuba divers could get it. I think Avi has pictures of him scuba diving and trapping one of those snails. Tana Rabbanan. Anyway, so the point is that this Nuvuzardan of Russia, he kept these people because they knew how to trap it. It was hard. And kings in those days, and that's the whole reason why we don't have techeiles today, is because it was so valuable that the Goyim, they said whoever uses it, it's only for Malchus. Kings could use it. So he wanted the people that could get him the chilazayin, the people that could get him the afarsamayim. So he left these poor Yidden there, and at the end they left, and everybody died. It was a whole thing. Torah Rabbana. You have tevel. Tevel is fruit that you weren't mafresh trumas and meisers. Tevel, before you mafresh truma and meiser, you cannot, and it's tamei, the Gemara says, you can't light it, you can't use it. Rashi says, and certainly if it's tar, look, you didn't, just that you can't eat it, you can't consume it, you can't use it, you can't have any benefit from it, you can't burn it. Certainly not on Shabbos. You can't use it during the weekday, so you can't use it for Shabbos. For a different reason. So the Gemara starts off with tevel. The Gemara goes on to neft lavan, white kerosene. I might even have a picture here. Not that's important, and not that it'll change. Here, it's white. You see, the bottle is white. Then it says on it kerosene, white kerosene. For different reasons. Bishlei beneft lavan, white, I think it's kerosene. Call it nafta, call it whatever you want. B'bnei shu off. It's very flammable. Avol tevel tomei my taima. But what is the reason you can't use oil from unmeisered food? We had this pasuk yesterday. It should have said in the pasuk, mishmeres truma. The pasuk says it plural. There are two trumahs here. Bishtei trumahs hakasim medaber achas truma tahira v'achas truma tmeya. One is tahir, one is tamei. Ma truma tahira elecha ba elo mishas haroma veilach. What happens, Rabbi Isai, if you eat tevel? What happens to you? You die. Misa. So just like truma tahira, you cannot eat food that doesn't have trumas and maestras. There's a chiv misa b'dei shomayim. Af truma tmeya. Elecha ba elam shas haroma veilach. So too, truma that's already tamei, so you need to master it before you can use it, before you consume it. What are you consuming? You're trying to burn it. You can't burn it. And that's what we're talking about. That's the whole case. Ein madlikim b'tevel tamei b'chol. You can't use oil of tevel, even though it's tamei, in the weekday. Why? Because just like you can't use tevel that's tahar, if you try to eat tevel that's tahar, you're chayiv misa. So too, if you try to eat or consume or light tevel that's tamei, it's asur. Gufa, Reb Shimon ben Elazar Omer.
Eli, why didn't the Bible just say Emad Likim B'Tevel? Period. Since Tahor and Tamei and Chol and Shabbos is all asur, the same Emad Likim B'Tevel.
Okay, so that's Tosfos, Rashi. Rashi says it's a kolchkin. It's not such a kolchkin. You go into that. I hear. Says the Gemara. Rabbi Shmuel Omer, Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Omer, Ein madlikin bitzari or bitzri. You can't light with this oil, the farsimon oil. V'chein hoyer Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Omer. So now, basically what the Gemara is doing is, the Gemara is limiting what we learned in the Mishnah. In the Mishnah we had a few oils that are not kosher for lighting. We had zephes, shava, kik, sreifa, chelav aliyah. Okay? Now the Gemara is adding a little bit. Sorry, not in the Mishnah. Says the Reb Shimon ben Elazar, Einoi elosraf. Sorry, Ein madlikin b'tzari. So another oil you can't use. We had the reasons. It's flammable and it smells too good, you might come to use it. V'chein hoy Reb Shimon ben Elazar Omer. So now it's a question exactly what's going on and what's the v'chein. Is he explaining or it's just a continuation. We say it every morning in Israel. Over here it says me'atzeh. What is he trying to say? Okay, tsari comes from sraf. It's the sap of a tree, of this balsam tree. Okay, fine. Maybe that's why it's aser. Another reason why it's aser because it comes from a tree. And in a second, we're going to say that. By the way, it says over there Goldie's iPad. So don't worry about it. We spoke to him after the shear. That's called a CPAP machine. It helps people that I used to deal with it. I had a sleep lab once. It helps people that have snoring issues and whatever. So I just saw yesterday they were saying that I forgot what company it was, but they want to manufacture these CPAP machines because that could be instead of a ventilator. You don't need a ventilator if you have a CPAP. So it's a very good thing. Goldie's iPad, you have a good machine going over there. But the oil shouldn't worry. Chas v'shalom, he's not on a ventilator. That's what I thought in the beginning, that we have a person, le'aleinu. But it's a CPAP, it's just good for breathing. Rabbi Shmuel loimer, kol hayotzei mino eitz. So Nachamal, so this oil comes from Atzei Aktaf, and the Gemara says that you shouldn't be using here. Rabbi Shmuel loimer kol hayotzei mino eitz ein madlikin boy. Why? Because anything that comes from a tree, you're talking about the sap of a tree, doesn't work so well. It doesn't come up the wick. So therefore, what happens when it doesn't go up the wick as well as you want it to? On Shabbos is a problem, Shemiyata. Okay. Rabbi Shmuel ben Broiko Eimer, Eimad Likin Elo B'yotzim Min Apri, limits it also all the way down that the only oils you can use are fruit derivatives. It has to come from fruit. You can't just take an oil like kerosene or all these other oils. They don't come from fruits. What about fish? No, it's not a fruit. So fish oil, or the innards of a fish, or whatever fish oil means, no good according to him. Itron, sorry, all no good. Comes Reb Tarfon and throws away the whole Mishnah and says, forget about all these oils that are puzzle. Everything is puzzle. Forget the 5 oils that are puzzle. 1,000 oils are puzzle. I need Shemen Zayis Bilvad. That's it. Omer Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, Aragla v'Omar. Says Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, Rebbeinu Shalom, I don't understand what you're talking about. Ma yasu anshi bavel. What are people in Iran going to do? Shein lam el Shemen shum shum. All they have is sesame seed oil. Ma yasu anshi modai, shein lam el Shemen egoizim. The Medines only have nut oil. Ma yasu anshi Alexandria, shein lam el Shemen tznoinos. Radish oil. Somebody sent me, I forgot who it was, but then I looked it up. There is such a thing. Radish oil. They sell it today. Although if you look, no, this one not. Radish oil, even the Americans drink it. Okay, fine. Uma yasu anshe kepoitikya shein loem loikach v'loikach eloneft. They don't have anything. They only have nafta, kerosene. Elo. Says Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, Ein l'choel ma shomer chachamim ein madlikin. Let's stick to the Mishnah. Let's stick to those things that are ein madlikin. Chaylev, fat from an animal. Aliyah, the tail. You have kick. You have, what else do you have? Zephes, pitch, and shava. Okay, shava we said comes from the bees, the leftover wax. Umadlikim b'shemen dogim ubeitron. So what's shemen dogim? Like we said a few times, Rashi holds shemen dogim is oil that's from fish innards. You just mush it up real good and you have some oil. And according to Tosfos, it's oil that comes from the eye of a fish. Ubeitron, and that's the pitch, the leftover from the sah. Reb Shimon Shizuri Oimer, Madlikim b'shemen pakua isu b'neift. So it's not exactly. We're not exactly sure what's going on here. What is he? Is he adding Tosfos? There's all Tosfos here. Is he saying only pakua isu b'neift, or he's saying there's another girser? You cannot. Reb Shimon Shizuri adds you can't use pakua isu b'neift. Pakua means callicent. I think that's how you pronounce it. Callicent oil. Oh, I think I do have a picture. Well, Mamish, help us if we see this picture. Here. It does 0. But one thing you see, it's in Arabic. And that might give you an indication why we probably never heard of it. They probably use it in Iran today, in Bavel somewhere. Okay. Sumchos Oimer. Now listen to the Sumchos. If you watch Sumchos, you'll see he's not really adding anything. What does he say? Kol hayoyte min habasar ein madlikin boy. In other words, what comes from meat? What kind of oil do we make from meat? You take the fat and you melt it down and you make oil. What is that called? Chaylev. So we already said ein madlikin. You can't use chaylev.
Eli,
Yes.
Bobo is Iraq.
Iraq. You're right. Iraq. Shkoyach. Iraq.
This
Thanks.
is pointed out by,
No, Iran is Persia. You're right. Sorry. Okay, that should be the only mistake today. Halavai. Iraq.
it wasn't my R, it was JS.
I'm happy. It's a beautiful thing. I need to be corrected. If it's stupidity, I have to be told. I'm sitting here by myself, talking to myself. I could be saying mamash shtuyot. Rabbi Isai, we have 115 people on Zoom and 24 people on YouTube. Yesterday we had 87 total on YouTube and 115 as the year was going on. So it was over 200 people live. So Baruch Hashem, we're holding at 130 people live. Beautiful. Okay, but this is also in the Mishnah, Shem and Dagim. It says you could use Shem and Dagim. So what exactly is Sumchos adding? Says the Gemara, Sumchos Hainu Tanakama. Isn't that exactly the same thing? Says the Gemara, Ike Beinayu, the Rabroino Marav, Veloy Mesaimi. Last time we had the exact same words, and I said that's a little cryptic. Over here it means slightly different according to Rashi. Let's see Rashi inside. Iki Beinayu the Rabroino, go to the middle of Rashi. Rashi says, Chad Mahanach Tanoi, one of these two, we don't know if it's Sumchos or the Tanakama, because Loi Misaimi, I don't know who it is, but he's going to hold different than the other Tana. The other Tana. Saval the Rabroino, what does Rabroino hold? The Chaylev Nito B'taroives, that if you add a little bit of oil to your bad oil, then it works. So I could take Chaylev, let's say, according to one man Damar, pour in some good oil, kosher oil, whatever the kosher oil is, let's say the best oil, Shemen Zayis. You stick a little Shemen Zayis into the Chaylev, into the melted fat, and suddenly, Niter B'taroives. Then all of a sudden this fat becomes mutter. Aval Shemen Dagim, afilu be'enei. But fish oil, I don't need to add any other oils. Fish oil by itself is mutter. And what is the other man the Amar going to hold? One step less in every category. In other words, when it comes to chaylev, chaylev is never mutter, even if I add olive oil to it. And when it comes to fish oil, what's one step less than before? Before we said fish oil is mutter, and now that the other man the Amar is going to hold, the Tanakama, let's say, or Sumchos, is going to hold, fish oil is not good on its own. It's only good if you add a little bit, a couple drops of olive oil. You hear what's going on here? So we have two shittas in the Mishnah. Fish oil is perfect all by itself. Chaylev is usher, but if I add olive oil to it, it's okay. The other man that holds, fish oil is not good by itself. You need to add olive oil. And chaylev will never achieve kashrus. You can never add olive oil to it and make it kosher. Okay, now we have a brand new sugya. Don't want to scare you. But we have a couple of daf here. 3-4 daf of Tumah. I'm not going to tell you how many. But just know that when this sugya is over, we're going to have 4 daf of stories. So it's like payback. We're going to do a little Tum and Tyra now, and then we're going to have story time. So I'll give you a little bit of Akdam. I'll make it very simple. This is Amud Beis. It's not that complicated. It's really, really simple. Basically, I could tell you about Peh if you want. In the Torah, it talks about Tumas Negaim, about Saras. Okay? Person has Saras. This Tumah, what happens if this Mitzorah touches a beged Now, check this out. If there's a tumah of tzaras on a string that's about to become a beged, shesi ve'erev, the upper string and the one that goes horizontal and vertical, they're different sizes. That's why they're called shesi ve'erev. One is thicker than the other. The tumah, you could be metama shesi ve'erev, provided they have enough string there to make a 3x3 beged, 3 fingers by 3 fingers. I have a picture of it. That's called in Gemara language shalosh al shalosh, 3 fingers by 3 fingers. Shloisha al shloisha, not shalosh al shalosh, is 3 fists, 3 tfachim by 3 tfachim, which is a tefach is 4 fingers. So in other words, 3 fingers is less than 1 tefach. So 3 tfachim is 4 times more. I didn't do the math, but whatever. Says the Gemara, yes, it seems like exactly 4 times more. So we have like this. You have shesi ve'erev. That's something that doesn't even exist. It's not a beged yet. It's nothing. It's a string. Becomes tamei. To tell me that a 3x3 beged, somebody started stitching together 3x3 beged, that is tamei, shalish al shalish is a limud. That says v'ha beged. We learn it in the pasuk. Shloisha al shloisha, something this big, like these fists, that size, that I don't need a pasuk. That's a kal v'chomer. If a string could become tamei, so certainly a beged that shloisha al shloisha. And what's so significant about shloisha al shloisha? Wealthy people also use that. It's something that they'll consider. They won't toss it out. It's something. It's starting to become a garment. I can make something out of it. Shalosh al shalosh, a wealthy person tosses it. Only a poor person might want to use it. That's the kula alma. So there's tumas tzaras, tumas negaim in all sizes of begadim. So that's very simple. Tumah goes from string to 3 to shloisha to the largest piece. Tumah. What about other tumas? What other tumas? You have tumas meis, tumas sheres, shechvazera, other tumas. In other begadim. Now, in tumas negaim, it says specifically, beged, semer, upishtim. So it must be only shesi ve'erev and 3x3 fingers and 3x3 tfachim, semer, wool, and pishtim, linen. That's it. All we're going to be discussing, and it's a very small discussion, is what about other clothing that are not semer upishtim? And what about different sizes? So, according to Abaya, there's no difference. All sizes have the same halacha with other clothing. They are not mekabel tumah, because the Torah says semer upishtim. So it doesn't matter. It could be 3x3, it could be 100x100, not mekabel tumah. Rava says, you're right, only according to Rabbi Shmuel, but according to Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, that's the only difference. 3x3 tfachim, since it's so big, it is mekabel tumah. So we have one nafkemina, according to Rava, in one man da'amar, that a certain size clothing is mekabel tumah. That's the whole sugya for today. Let's see it inside. Tanya Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Omer. Kol hayotzim min ha'etz, ein boi mishum shalish al shalish. Anything that's not semer upishtim, it comes from a tree, is not mekabel tumah. So it doesn't have, what shalish al shalish again? Not shloish al shloisha. Shalish al shalish is 3 fingers by 3 fingers. It's not mekabel tumah. We're going to see what about 3x3 tfachim. Not mekabel tumah. If it's not mekabel tumah, umesakachim bay. So I could use it for my sukkah. Because sukkah I can't put anything on my sukkah that's mekabel tumah. So since 3x3 fingers are not mekabel tumah, something that's made from a tree, not semer upishtim, so I could use it for my sukkah. Chutz me pishtim. The only thing that comes from a tree that is mekabel tumah, that's pishtim. Flax. Omer Abaya. Turn the page. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar v'Tana de Rabbi Shmuel Omer Dover Echad. These two Tanaim, Shimon ben Elazar and Tana de Rabbi Shmuel, they say the same thing. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar had Amarim, which we just quoted a second ago. Tana de Rabbi Shmuel Mahi. So here's Abaya. Abaya says everybody holds the same thing. There's no Tumah in other types of begadim, 9 minutes, 8 minutes, shkoyach Jonathan. There's no tumah in other begadim. In other tumas. In other tumas, meaning sheretz, mace, other things. Now in the Gaon we said already, of course there's no tumah. But he says in other begadim, in other tumas, everybody agrees there's zero tumah. Fine. The Tana Rabbi Shmuel, here, even Rabbi Shmuel admits, it says the word beged many times in the Torah. When it comes to Gari, Shalom Aleichem, when it comes to tzitzis, sheretz, meis, shechvazera, all these things, it says beged, but the Torah doesn't say what. Maybe it's from silk, maybe it's from something else. And by one of them, which one does the Torah say specifically what it is? By Negoim, by Tzaras. It says over there, Tzemer upishtim, meaning Tzemer or Pishtim. Mala and Tzemer Pishtim. And this is what we call, this is one of the Shloisha Serimida, Shatoyer Nidreshes Bam, called the Binyanav, or a Memetzinu, same thing. Just like we find over here, by Negoim, that a beged, the Torah specifies and explains to us what a beged is. It's from wool and linen, or linen. So too, anytime the Torah says, beged, tzitzis, it has to be tzemer upishtim. Sheretz touches a beged, it says a kli or beged, it has to be tzemer upishtim. I've called tzemer upishtim. And what? The only time we have tumah by any other thing is by tzemer upishtim. The Torah says by sheretz, beged, it has to be tzemer upishtim. The Torah says by mace, tzemer upishtim, tzemer upishtim. It can't be other begadim. So if you take your silk tie and touch it to a mace, not tamei, because the Torah says tzemer upishtim. Says Rava, wait a minute, that's not true exactly what you're saying. They're not exactly the same. Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. There's one difference. Rava amar shloisha b'shar begadim mekimeinayu. In other tumas, that is by sheretz and mace, there's one difference when it comes to a very large beged called a shloisha, which is good for a wealthy person. Oh, sure. The Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Islay. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar holds there is tumah of shloisha. But on the Rabbi Shmuel, Leslie, Rabbi Shmuel, I agree to you, Abaya, that Rabbi Shmuel holds there's no tumah, zero tumah. Doesn't matter how big the beged is, from a shesi to an erev all the way up to shloisha and more, no tumah. But I'm going to tell you that, and he's medaik very well, says Rashi, because if you turn the page back to Chavav Amud Aleph, and I'm sure Noam was going to ask me that question if he was in front of me, it says, it's very similar to his other question, that it's a kavachayim, that's why I'm saying Noam. Anybody mishum sholish al sholish. He says there's no sholish al sholish, but you could be medaik. There is tumah if it's shloisha al shloisha. Official's tired. Unbelievable. He's in Baltimore and he's yawning away. What kind of zach is this? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Why are you tired? You hear it says sholish al sholish. Dafka sholish al sholish, but not shloisha al shloisha. So that's a good deal. That's how Rashi says. That's how the Gemara knows. That's how Rashi knows. When it says, or the Gemara knows that according to Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, Islay, he does hold the shloisha because he's in the furish. Otherwise, he should say all begadim in the world is no tumah. But he doesn't say that. He says only a beged that's 3 by 3 has no tumah. So any person could be medayik. But if it's a large beged that's good for a ashir, there is tumah. Fine. So according to Rav, there's enough kamina between Shimon ben Elazar and Rabbi Shmuel. Let's go back there. The kula alma mi sholish al sholish b'tzemer upishtim mitam ben goyim. However, everybody, Rava, Abaya, Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, everybody agrees that when it comes to tzemer upishtim, and the beged is sholish al sholish, this guy right over here, even that has tumah. That's a chiddush, by the way. That this has tumah, that's a real beged. But that this has tumah, that's a chiddush. But everybody agrees. And now the Gemara just goes into the limudim. How do I know these things? Minalan. Mi sholish sholish b'tzemer upishtim mitam ben goy minalan. The sanyo beged ein lielo beged. By the way, a couple of people texted me and emailed me. They were worried about my state of mind. They thought I was 100%. I was just emotional. I'm allowed to get emotional. I was crying because it was an emotional email. A guy sitting shiva in his house by himself, and he can't even go to the levaya of his 47-year-old sister who left Yisayimim. It's emotional. And then this 39-year-old, emotional, but it didn't shut me down. Continue learning, continue davening, everything's great. But I'm allowed to have emotion with this. It's fine. I'm Baruch Hashem, I'm good. For all those who are concerned. But thanks for the concern, BMS. The Sanyo beged ainli elo beged. The Torah says it has to be a garment. So where do you come up with that? You have a tiny little thing. A woman started doing one of her crochet things, and she got the 3 fingers. Oh, that's a beged. A beged means a garment, something you could wear. Ainli a beged. Veha beged. There's extra vav and there's extra hey, and this gives me the limud. Veima l'rabbi shleisha shleisha. Okay, but it makes more sense that the Torah is coming to tell us a real beged, 3 by 3 tfachim, not 3 by 3 fingers. Says Gemara lav kavachoymu, hashta shesi ve'erev mitama. If you're going to make tumah on a thread, not a string, a thread. That's the real lashon. But you guys are not here, so I say shtiyot. If you can make tumah on threads, so of course you can make tumah on 3 by 3 tfachim. So what's the obvious question? So of course you can make tumah on 3 by 3 fingers. So for the same reason, if I can make tumah on a thread, make tumah on 3 by 3 fingers. Loi. You have to be goris here, loi. Not ella. Take off the aleph. Loi. Something that's valuable to the entire world. There's loi plug, there's ashirim. That means a beged. That I can't learn from a kavachomer. It might be the same, but it's not a kavachomer, and therefore, time of the kasvikra. That's why I need veha beged. I need a vav and a hey. Haloi kasvikra loy gamrina bekavachomer. Okay, so basically it goes like this. I know shasi ve'erev, and then I have a limud to teach me even 3 by 3 fingers, and 3 by 3 tfachim is a kavachomer. So now I have everything. Anything that Tzemer Pishtim becomes Tameh from a Mitzayra. Maybe just learn Kavachayimers for everything. Say, if a thread becomes Tameh, so certainly 3 by 3 should become Tameh, certainly 3 by 3 Tfachim should become Tameh, everything should be Tameh from a Kavachayimer. And then, so what do I do with the Vav and the Hey? I'll use it for all other clothing. Nothing to do with Tzemer Pishtim. Omar Krah, Beged Tzemer Pishtim. It's Dafka Tzemer Pishtim. There's a miud here. Beged Tzemer Pishtim midachrin eloi. Veima ki maut misholish al sholish av shlish al shlish mitama. So the Gemara kind of tightens up the question a little bit. Perhaps the whole miud of Tzemer Pishtim is only going for a 3 by 3 finger. But 3 by 3 tfachim does become tamei by other clothes. So the Gemara trei miyute ksive beged tzemer oibe beged pishtim, whatever it says exactly the lashon in the Torah. The point is there are 2 miyutim in the Torah. First beged tzemer, and it says oibe beged pishtim. Chad limuute misholish al shalosh. One comes to say that other clothing that are 3 by 3 fingers are not mekabel tumah. And the other one comes to say that other clothing that are 3 by 3 tfachim are not mekabel tumah. Have a wonderful geshmak day. If you stick around, we're going to say 1 kapitel tehillim for all the chaylim of Corona and Shir Hamalois Mimamakim Kosicha Adonai Adonai Shema Bekoili Tiena Oznecho Kashuvois Likoy Tachanunoi Im Avoinois Tishmo Yo Adonai Mi Yamoid Ki Imcha Haslicha Leman Tivorei Ki visi Adonai kivsa nafshi v'ledvara yecholti nafshi l'Adonai mishemrim l'boiker shemrim l'boiker יחל ישראל אל אדינוי, כי מאדינוי החסד והרבה עמו יפדוס. והוא יבדס ישראל מכל אבינו סוף. אחינו כל בית ישראל הנשונים בצורה ושביו, העומדים בין ביום ובין ביבשו, המוקים ירחם עליהם ויציאים מצור לברכה. אפילו לא יראו, משיבה לגאולו, השתו בגלוב זמן קרוב ונאמר אמן. רבי זכוילם, דוד שלמה בן שרה, יצחק בן אסתתרה, דוד בן ציבי פר. דפוס הנפש ודפוס הגוף, השתו בגלוב זמן קרוב ונאמר אמן. Oh, we'll shut off the YouTube. Rabbi Isai, here's what it looks like on YouTube.